Hello, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I'm going to be doing my New Year's mani today. And I'm going to be doing dip method because I don't know if you can see, but I've started to develop a gel allergy. It's hard to see right now because it's the beginnings of it. I should remove these nails as they're attached with gel base. But I really don't want to deal with it today. I don't have the time. But I can see my natural nail behind the tips, and I'm starting to get whiteness going down into the nail plate, which means that probably oncholysis, or however you pronounce it, is starting to set in. So after I do, and I actually did another video. I'm gonna try to do this while I exposition. I haven't done a dip process in a long time, a full-on dip process. I usually finish off with gel top coat, but I'm going to, and I've already messed up because I put on base coat and I'm not ready. Crap. This is why I generally don't do dip anymore, because I get it all over the place. But millions of different trains of thought at once. Let me try to orient myself. But I actually did another video already that's going to post after the new year, where I suspected I was getting a gel allergy, but I wasn't quite sure. So I removed my tips and soaked off all the product to get a look at my nails. And there was, my middle nails only on each hand seem to be having issues, which if you have problems with one nail, you're gonna have a problem with all of them. But I have a tendency to be rough on those nails for some reason. At work, they always seem to get the blunt force trauma from whatever I'm doing. So I was going to attach the tips with dip liquid just to be sure, but I had a lot of problems with it adhering. Some nails would stick, others wouldn't, and I ended up just saying, you know, F it, whatever it is, I will figure it out later. So now it's later and I seem to actually be having issues with gel. So when I go and redo this manicure next week, I will take off all products and I will revert back to dip liquid. At least for the time being, until my nails grow out. I have been going back and forth with HEMA and non-HEMA products. So once my nails grow out and heal, I'll give it some time and then I will switch back to HEMA-free gel products and see what happens. Because I really rather not give up using gel products altogether. But it's going to be a moment-to-moment process, and I'll just have to, you know, see. But this is going to be an ombre, a black to gold ombre, and I'm using Sparkle & Co. colors. This is from a mystery bundle that I had received. I do not know if the colors are currently available on the website, but I will check it out and link them down below. The one I'm using right now is Bring On the Bubbly, and the black is Ringing in the New Year, Sparkle into the New Year, which obviously is quite apt for a New Year's manicure. So I just wanted to put a base of one color down, and I figured I'd start with the gold because it's going to be easier to top over the gold than to top over the black. And so I'm doing a very thin coat of base liquid. Did a little bit too much on this nail, so I'm drawing some off. And you want to work relatively quickly whenever you're doing working with dip liquids, because it does obviously dry, air dry, and you want to get the color down as quickly as possible. I'm doing the pour over method, and this usually yields a thinner end result, but also it prevents pushing of the dip liquid. Even though it is thinner than gel liquids, the tendency is for it to wrinkle and get displaced if you push or dip into it. You can let it sit on the nail a little bit before you dip into it if you want to. That way it has time to dry a bit and less likely to move the liquid once it's on your nail. But I still, at least for the first coat, I rather just dip into it, pour over. So I'm going to take what's left in the cup and I'm going to pour it back into the jar just for, actually, no. I'm going to pour it all out into the cup liner because I'm going to use a fluffy brush and I'm going to tap over for the ombre. I'm gonna move this aside. I'm going to get my next color and I'm going to pour it back into the jar before we proceed. All right, so I've set my timer for 2 minutes. I'm down to 14 seconds, but I wanted to take this time to show you how I'm cleaning this brush. It's not going to come 100% clean because I've dipped it on, for the black, I'm tapping literally onto the nail. I'm taking the product and I'm touching the nail. So I'm picking up some of that dip liquid and it's going to dry out the bristles and, you know, dry to the bristles and kind of ruin them. So use a brush that you don't care about, that you can dedicate only to doing this technique. But I do have what's called color switch, and that's to help clean off some of the powder and clean off the bristles just a little bit. And it's a rough, kind of like a sponge, and you just, you know, rub it into the bristles, or into the sponge rather, and it'll pull off as much of the color as possible. So I'm going to move that aside. I'm going to take a scrubby brush and I'm going to take off the excess powder that's sitting on top. Make sure you get underneath your nails and the sidewalls. And now we're going to move into the ombre portion. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yes. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts since we're using dip liquids. I don't want to rush to tap 2 colors at the same time and risk contaminating the color I want to put back in the jar. So while I am going to use the dip liquid all over the nail, I'm only going to put black over the top half of it. So I'm going to pick some up and I'm going to tap it onto the free edge so that I can get the most color possible. It's always difficult doing this with my left hand. And then I'm going to tap the rest of the way down, or as far as I want to go down. Trying to remember if this is the way I did it for the left hand. I just did it, you would think I would remember. But I did my thumb and the rest of my fingers differently because I didn't like the way the thumb came out, so I changed the process. I'm pretty sure I just did that this is the way I did it for this coat. All right, so that's about the coverage that I want. I'm just gonna pour a little bit more out into the cup, and then I'm going to go on to the next nail. Generally speaking, you don't want to dip back into the jar, but since this is glitter and you want to make sure that you wipe off your brush, I want to make sure I get as much liquid on the nail as possible because it's a rougher surface. And it's not gonna go, you're gonna need a little bit more to get into the nooks and crannies. Always, always, always wipe off your brush before, you just want to coat the free edge a little bit more, before you put the brush back into the bottle. So the way I'm tapping, I'm rotating my finger forwards and backwards. And where I want to deposit more color, I'm close to the nail, and where I want it to spread out a little bit more, I pull the brush further away. And I'm just pressing down to make sure I get as much coverage, and then I'm pressing it against the cuticle and the free edge. So I'm gonna let this dry. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes, just to be sure. Actually, I'm going to set it for 3 minutes. And then we'll be back for the next round. Okay, so I needed to put some clear over top because the tacky layer from the dip liquid wasn't drying out. So just, sorry, brain fog. I waited for 3 minutes and then I reset the timer and did another 3 minutes and it still wasn't dry, so I did not get good coverage there, but can fix that in the next dip. So I went and I poured quickly a little bit of clear over top just to get it to dry out. Out. I've got a little bit of flake in the cuticle. All right, so now we've got them side by side. I've got 2 separate brushes, one for the gold, one for the black. And I'm gonna do exactly what I said I didn't wanna do last time, which is tap at the same time, because I didn't wanna run the risk of cross-contaminating, but we're gonna do it anyway. So this one I'm going to just push my free edge into the black since I didn't get any coverage last time. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And then I'm going to go around the cuticle once more. Okay, I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to grab my clear, and I just want to do a quick pour over so that if there's any area of the nail that doesn't have any powder, it's going to absorb that liquid and dry that sucker out. Make sure you don't tap over the clear because now that is contaminated. Brilliant. Wait for another 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to do another clear coat. All right, moving on to the last step before we finish off the manicure, and that's one more clear coat, because especially since we're using glitter, you don't want to file and shape through the glitter, because most glitters are not the same color all the way through. They are silver on the inside, so you're going to wind up with an inconsistent look in your manicure. Not feeling these 3 glitters right next to each other, but we're just going to leave that. So I'm going to use the same powder that's already contaminated. Am I really? Yes, let's pour it off into here so I can use this and then just pour over it again. All right, so going back in with our dip base. And this is just going to go the same way as the other dips or pour overs, as it were. All right, so after this last nail, I'm going to wait another 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm going to activate the nail. And what that's going to do is it's going to help the powder cure all the way so we can file through and it won't pull the color off the nail. All right, excuse me. Just quick random question. It's Christmas Day when I'm doing this manicure. What's your favorite Christmas movie? We have ones that we watch every year with my family. Not Scrooged, the original, wow. The original Scrooge movie with Alistair Sims, Holiday Inn, not Miracle on 4th Street, although that's a wonderful movie too. Oh, It's a Wonderful Life, which ironically, that was a color that I was thinking of using also. It's a beautiful gold color by Diva and Dauphine, I want to say. But I decided to watch Deadpool. And I don't know if, oh, wait, activator. So you want to do a good amount of activator. I usually go through and do 2 layers, a little bit more on my thumb, And I'm gonna put a little bit more on the tip since black is quite an opaque color. I wanna make sure it cures properly. But I decided to watch Deadpool because there are quote unquote Christmas scenes in it. And I had it playing in the background while I was waiting for my nails to dry. And I started choking on my own laughter. But yeah, so that's my Christmas movie of today. I watched the first one and now I'm watching the second one. And so far I think the dip process is taking me just as long as it takes the gel process. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It just is. So now you'll want to wait again for another 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure it dries. And the way that you know it's dry is you go like this to your nail, and if it clicks, it's dry. Ooh! Sorry, knocking stuff all over the place. I'm going to do the majority of the shaping off camera, but I just wanted to show you they're ready to go. I'm just going to redefine the profile of my nail because dip powder does widen your nail a bit. Oh, my stomach is growling. I am hungry. So yeah, I'm going to file down the, well, not really file down the shape. I'm going to buff and even out the shape. I'm going to reflatten out the free edge since I am rocking a coffin shape at the moment. Make sure it's as I want it. Bring in that taper a little bit more, and then I'm going to go over the surface of the nail to make sure that there's no rough spots. It's smooth, that I'm getting the nice curved shape that I want. I'm going to be going back and forth between the 180 grit side and the 100 grit side, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth. After I use the file, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use a buffing block. When you're using dip liquids, dip likes a smooth surface. You're going to get the most shine out of your top coat with the smooth surface. So go in and gently buff the top of the nail. Feel all over it, make sure there's no lumps and bumps. And then do the final shaping. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of my nails the same way, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another coat of activator, and then I will top coat. All right, now it's important to take a little bit of alcohol and just cleanse the surface of the nail so that you don't risk contaminating your top coat. I haven't had a problem with the Azure Beauty top coat contaminating, which is the one that I'm using, but I have had a problem with every single other brand. So just to make things a little bit easier, so now you're going to go in, and this is where you want to make sure that you really wipe off your brush well in between. So you're going to do 3 swipes across the surface of the nail. Swipe, move on to the next nail. 1 down the center, 1 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Okay, let that sit for about a minute. You want to wait until it starts looking a little bit wrinkled. If you do one coat, it's not going to dry completely shiny. So you always want to go in and do 2 coats. So wait about a minute, go in and do the second coat, then wait for 5 minutes for it to dry completely. This is where you can get a little bit more detailed. Go in, make sure you get the sidewalls. Push down towards the cuticle. And then make sure you cap your edges. And that's the manicure all done. Nice and dry, nice and shiny, and ready for New Year's Eve. Not that I'll be doing anything. I'm working during the day, and then I'll probably be coming home just to relax. I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful Happy New Year's. I hope everyone's enjoying the holidays as a whole. I'm just using the same cuticle oil that I first got when I started doing my nails, since we're bringing it back to basics. And it's still my favorite. It's a very clean scent, inexpensive. I picked it up at Sally's Beauty. Its brand, I believe, is California Mango. I don't know if mango is the scent or if that's just the name. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to find a wipe, a lint-free wipe, and I'm just going to take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and run it over the nail to get the oil off the surface. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you everybody for joining me. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you have not done so already. I had a terrific holiday season in terms of uploading. I didn't ever plan to upload as many as I did. But I hope you enjoyed all of the videos. If you have not seen them all, please go watch them now, all of them right now. And I will catch you in the next video.